Remember when the mall wasn't just a place to shop? It was the place to be? The smell of Cinnabon mixing with Abercrombie cologne, the sound of quarters dropping into arcade machines, that specific feeling of freedom you got when your mom said she'd pick you up in 3 hours. Today, we're going back to when the mall was our entire world. If you grew up in the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s, the mall wasn't just a shopping center. It was your social network before social networks existed. It was where you learned who you were, who you wanted to be, and who you definitely wanted to date. But here's what's crazy. Most of those malls, they're gone now. Empty, abandoned, like a teenage hangout that everyone grew out of and forgot about. So buckle up. We're about to take you back to a time when the food court was fine dining, and hanging out at the fountain was peak entertainment. Let's set the scene. It's 1985. Your parents just dropped you off at the mall with 20 bucks and a Swatch watch. You are living. The mall in the 80s was like Disneyland, but better, because your parents weren't there. You had freedom, you had options, and you had absolutely nowhere else to be. And trust me, what happened in the arcade? That's where things got really interesting. But we'll get to that in a minute. Every mall had the same vibe, but felt completely unique. There was always that massive fountain in the center where people threw pennies and made wishes. There was the 2-story structure with escalators that felt futuristic. And there was that store, you know the one, where the employees were way too cool to actually help you. The 80s mall was capitalism meeting teenage rebellion, and honestly, it was perfect. But wait until you hear what we used to do in the photo booths, because that's where half the relationships in the 90s started. I'm not even joking. But first, okay, let's talk about the stores, because the stores weren't just stores. They were identities. Sam Goody, Warehouse Music, Tower Records, FYE. Walking into a music store in 1997 felt like entering a temple. You'd spend 45 minutes listening to CDs on those headphone stations, pretending you were going to buy something, knowing full well you were only buying one CD that week and you already knew which one. And the employees? They were music snobs. They judged your taste harder than any algorithm ever could. You'd bring up a Backstreet Boys CD and they'd look at you like you just said you hated music. Speaking of music, wait until you hear about the store that got so many of us in trouble with our parents. Coming up. Then there was Hot Topic, the store that made your parents genuinely concerned about you. Walking into Hot Topic was a vibe. Black walls, band posters everywhere. That one employee with purple hair who looked like they hadn't seen sunlight since the Clinton administration. You didn't even have to be goth or punk to shop there. You just needed to feel something. Angst? Perfect? Confusion? Even better. Hot Topic didn't judge. On the complete opposite end? The Gap. Abercrombie and Fitch. Hollister. These stores had a scent. You could smell them from 3 stores away. It was like they weaponized cologne and said, this is what cool smells like. And the employees? Models. Literally models. You'd walk in to buy a t-shirt and feel like you were auditioning for a commercial. Then there was Spencer's, the store where the back section was forbidden territory until you turned 16. Lava lamps in the front, band posters in the middle, and chaos in the back. Every mall had one. Every teenager was fascinated by it. But here's the thing nobody talks about. The real reason we went to the mall had nothing to do with shopping. Let me explain. See, the mall wasn't about buying things. It was about being seen. The food court was the hub. It was where everything happened. You'd get your slice of Sbarro pizza, your Orange Julius, maybe some Panda Express if you were feeling fancy. And then you'd post up. You'd sit there for hours, just watching people, talking, laughing, waiting for someone interesting to walk by. The food court was like Instagram before Instagram. You'd strategically pick your table. You'd make sure you looked good because you knew people were watching. And if your crush walked by, game over. That was the highlight of your week. Then there was the arcade. Oh man, the arcade. In the 80s and 90s, the arcade was sacred ground. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Time Crisis, Dance Dance Revolution. It was loud, it was chaotic, and it smelled like burnt popcorn and teenage dreams. Remember when I said things got interesting in the arcade? Here's what I meant. The arcade was where reputations were built. You get good at Street Fighter? You were a legend. You master DDR? People would literally gather around to watch you. It was like Twitch streaming, but in person. And nobody was making money except the arcade owner. And we can't forget the movie theater. Most malls had one attached, and that theater was clutch. Friday night? You're seeing a movie? Saturday afternoon? You're seeing a movie. Bad weather? Movie. Bored? Movie. Wanted to hold hands with someone in the dark? Movie. The mall theater was the reason we saw so many bad films but have such good memories. Now here's where things get emotional. Because what happened to the mall? Why did our teenage paradise turn into abandoned buildings? Stay with me. So what happened? How did we go from the mall being everything to half of them being turned into Amazon warehouses? The late 2000s hit different. Suddenly, you didn't need to go to Sam Goody to buy music. You had iTunes, then Spotify. You didn't need to hang out at the mall to see your friends. You had Facebook, then Instagram, then Snapchat. The mall lost its purpose. And then Amazon really twisted the knife. Why drive to the mall, park in that massive lot, walk around for 2 hours, when you could just click a button and have it show up at your door in 2 days? The convenience killed the experience. The 2008 recession didn't help either. Stores started closing, foot traffic dropped, malls started looking sad. That fountain that used to be magical? Now it was just kind of depressing. Remember that store I mentioned that got so many of us in trouble? It was actually all of them. Because our parents would give us money for school clothes and we'd come back with CDs, arcade tokens, food court leftovers, and maybe one shirt from JCPenney. The mall taught us how to stretch $20 like our lives depended on it. By the 2000s, dead malls became a whole thing. Urban explorers started filming abandoned malls. The footage was haunting. Empty stores, broken escalators. That same fountain. Dry and forgotten. It felt like walking through our own childhood. But everything was gone. But here's the question nobody's asking. Are malls actually gone? Or did they just evolve into something we don't recognize yet? Let me tell you what I think. Here's the thing. The mall wasn't just about shopping. It was about community. It was the place where you learned how to talk to people face to face, how to read body language, how to handle rejection when your crush said they were busy every single weekend. Kids today, they have group chats. We had the mall. And honestly, I think we got the better deal. The mall taught us social skills algorithms never could. You had to be there. You had to show up. You had to talk to people without a screen protecting you. You learned how to make plans without texting. You learned patience waiting for your parents to pick you up. You learned disappointment when the store didn't have your size. These were real experiences. Gen Z will never understand the pure joy of walking into a Blockbuster inside a mall to rent a movie before hitting the arcade. They'll never know the chaos of a mall on Black Friday in 1999. And honestly, that makes me a little sad for them. But here's why this nostalgia hits so hard. The mall wasn't just a place. It was a feeling. It was freedom. It was possibility. It was youth. And when those malls closed, It felt like that part of our lives closed too. But maybe, just maybe, the mall never really died. Think about it. We still crave community. We still want places to gather. We still want experiences. The mall evolved. It became online communities, Discord servers, Reddit threads, TikTok comment sections. We're still looking for that same feeling. We just found new places to find it. But man, nothing will ever hit quite like walking into that mall on a Friday night in 1998 with your friends by your side, $20 in your pocket, and absolutely no idea what you were gonna do. But knowing it was gonna be exactly what you needed. So here's my question for you. What's your mall memory? Was it the arcade? The food court? That one store where you spent every paycheck? Drop it in the comments because I know you've got stories. And if this video took you back, if you felt something watching this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started with these nostalgia trips. Next week, we're diving into Saturday morning cartoons and the absolute chaos of fighting with your siblings over the remote. But until then, remember when life was simpler? When your biggest problem was whether to get Taco Bell or Sparrow? Yeah, those were the days. Thanks for taking this trip down memory lane with me. I'll see you in the next one.